My name is Mike Carroll with Eastern Illini, and what I'm going to show you here is a little tabletop display for electric safety. What we do is we take this into classrooms throughout the territory, and we try and teach kids about the path to ground. Electricity is always trying to get back to ground, so since we are always standing on the ground or standing on something that is touching the ground, we want to emphasize the importance of staying out of the pathway to ground for children, and a lot of times they'll go home and teach their parents some things about electricity as well. So one of the first things that we talk about is flying a kite or climbing a tree that are too close to power lines, and the example of path to ground that we show the kids is somebody flying a kite and getting too close to the power lines, and as you can see in the top there, making contact with the kite string. But then to prove my point that it also follows to ground, I always tilt this up, and you can see up underneath there how that follows its path to ground. The second main point that we like to teach the kids and talk about is the importance of calling 811 and making sure that you call Julie before you dig. A lot of kids think that they can just go back in their backyard and dig wherever they want. But I always ask the question if they've ever taken one of these out and chased their friend around with it, and almost the whole class says yes. But by the time I'm done explaining things to them on what these really represent, I make them all promise us that they won't take those out of the ground anymore. So one of the main things that we like to teach the kids too is if they ever come across a situation on the country roads where they see that there's a vehicle that hit a power line, and the power lines are laying down on the ground, not to approach that situation, and that you are the safest you possibly can be in the vehicle. The only way we get out of the vehicle is if the vehicle's on fire, and then we try and teach them that if you throw a rock in a puddle and you see all those different rings in that puddle, that electricity does kind of the same thing. So when we do have to exit a vehicle in a down power line situation, we want to make sure when we get out we don't contact the vehicle and the ground at the same time, because then again you're the pathway to ground like we showed you earlier, and to keep your feet together and jump away as far as you can in that situation. But number one is when you're in that situation yourself, you call for help or wait for somebody to drive by and call for help. And number two, if you come across that situation, not to just rush up and try and help someone like natural instincts would typically force you to do. So those are three key points that we try and teach the kids in the territory, and hopefully they help people along the way understand the dangers of electricity.